and there's more. For this, I just want to conclude. I've talked a lot about health, and there are a couple of other, the environment. Look, I want us to have science-based environment policy, irregardless of the special interests, and you're going to be a big part of that. I commit to you that. I could go on longer than I should about how we need to bring this reality-based approach to many facets of public policy, including, incidentally, immigration policy, which was one of those. You know and I know that it's hard to beat reality. That talking about wedge issues in a way without compromise is no way that we're going to make progress in this country with and cure this unpredictability that both employees and employers face, and that faces the medical community in this state when some say, oh my gosh, let us not reimburse for care of those who do not have documentation, and others say, yes, but you must provide the care and service. You understand what I'm saying? It's another point we're squeezed. What I tell you is this, that we need political leaders who are willing to step up and have clear rules by which we identify who's here, what their status is, what the rules are, and we regulate work based on laws of supply and demand, and we crack down using criminal laws on narco-trafficking and human trafficking. Unless we have clarity in the situation and people who are willing to bring people together to get things done so that we make progress to secure our borders using the force in the market with us, we're going to have an uphill battle. Now, sometimes what I've told you does not fit in a glib soundbite, but I'll ask you this. Ask your colleagues here from Houston, Texas, what we've done in the fourth largest city to bring people together to get things done in truly amazing ways. I've had over 12,000 votes on my city council. They don't break down by party lines. We've been able to agree, and I've lost all but about half a dozen of those. And it's not because in a city as diverse as Houston, everybody agrees. We need leaders who can now get things done. And I thank my fellow candidates for letting me make this plain. Thank you very much, Bill.
Thank you, Mayor, for making the special effort to be here, and I think he's going to make his plane. Now we're back in order, and in the second round, which is for the candidates to talk about policy issues, at least some of those that we've already mentioned, and we'll start back with Commissioner Ames Jones. Probably is a good idea since.
Yeah, I'll come up. Are you sure you didn't want to go the other direction? Yeah, it was the other way.
We were going to do that. The draw.
We drew. No, we're only in the second round.
We're on the second round.
Would you like me to go?
We're on the second round.
Roger. Roger, you want to jump up?
Am I the
No,
next?
it's Elizabeth.
Yes.
It's Elizabeth. That's the way we said it.
We're easy. Whatever. Thank you, Bill. Okay. I didn't want to jump in front of anybody. Now I have the opportunity to talk to you about some issues that are very important to me, and one of the reasons driving my campaign and my desire to serve you in the United States Senate, some things that I have grave concerns about that I didn't get the time to talk about the first go-round, and this is the time when we want to talk about some policy. I have very, very grave concerns about the health care bill that is now pending in the Congress. I want to get straight to the point. I do not believe that what we are looking at now, and as far as we know, that which is known to the public, and I've had the great opportunity to talk to so many doctors and healthcare providers across the state, that we are going to move the ball any farther down the line, any further down the field than we have right now. And we have a tremendous potential to, in fact, put upon our children and our grandchildren yet another growing debt to grow our deficit and government spending that will last for decades to come. I have very, very grave concerns. There are a few things we could do and we should do. And people in policy-making arena should always be looking at a better way to doing things. They shouldn't wait until there's a crisis. And there has been some waiting going on in the United States Congress in Washington, and here we are today. And not only is our health care in shambles, or rather the potential of what it could be, we have got an economy, and we are in a trauma mode in the United States economic situation as we know it. And healthcare, of course, is a driver of that. In the healthcare arena, and as far as many people here in this room, I think, may feel, of course, I look to this group for counsel wherever I go and wherever I have been. Certainly, people should be able, I think there are some great ideas that could be put forth and that are being put forth if they could get some traction. Being able to buy insurance across state lines. Being able for sole practitioners, small businesses, to be able to have the same tax benefits that large corporations do. Portability. There are a lot of things that could help actually turn the tide on the escalating cost of health care. It's certainly unsustainable what our liabilities are for our Medicaid and Medicare for years to come. But I am telling you, the health care bill that I have had have been able to take a look at, but it is ever changing, is not going to do it. It is throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We have some of the best health care on the face of the earth, and it could make tremendous impact on that we cherish so much in this country. That thing has been loaded up like a Christmas tree. But there is an ornament that is not on it, and that is tort reform. And I would not be for anything that did not include a profound change in the tort process in the federal government, such as the one we passed when I was in the Texas State Legislature. When I had the great privilege of serving as the vice chairman of the House Republican Caucus, my second term in the legislature, we passed what is considered 10-gallon tort reform, and so many of you were right there in the middle on the front lines helping those of us in the Texas State House, and here's one right here, make sure that we could turn that into a reality. But the thing is that, you know, what we did then, it's just about getting things done. And so I have had the privilege not only of talking the talk, but walking it too. And I'd rather walk it than talk it. I have an issue, of course, as we've been talking, the economy is on everybody's mind. It is so grim out there. People, the unemployment in this state, of course, is tracking much lower than the rest of the country. Thank goodness, because we have had a strong energy industry to help shore up the Texas economy in a time of trouble. And we also had sound, principled, and strong leadership in the Texas legislature when I was there, when we were able to cut that budget and close the gap when we had a $10 billion budget shortfall. It isn't easy, but if you have a will and you have got a way, you can get it done, and I know how to cut spending. And yes, of course, we have got to make sure that we have a reform in our tax code in this country, but it won't matter if the government in Washington will not stop spending. We have got to face the fact that government cannot make all our dreams come true. And I want to go to Washington and make sure that I can step forward and step to the front lines for those of you here in this room and those of us, our friends and neighbors who aren't here tonight, and do what I did back then to make sure that we build a strong foundation for our children and our grandchildren. And I so appreciate the opportunity to get here tonight. I see somebody timing me out. So I'll move on down the road for the next speaker. Thank you.